Good morning, students. Today in science, we will start our new chapter, chapter 4, materials, metals and non-metals. See, in your surroundings, you are familiar of many materials like iron, aluminium, copper, etc. Some of the names of the materials are given to you in your table 4.1. What you have to do is to study these materials on the basis of their appearance and hardness. Appearance, you have to classify under two properties, whether the object is shiny or dull, and hardness you have to identify under two, very hard or not very hard. Okay, after doing this, you will find that iron, aluminium and copper are the materials that appears shiny and very hard in nature, whereas the coal and sulfur are the materials that appears dull and not very hard in nature. So students, here we can conclude that the materials which have luster means shiny and very hard in nature considered as metals. What helps us to conclude this is the properties of these materials. In the above table, appearance and hardness were the two properties used to study the materials. Like this only, we can use different properties to distinguish metals from non-metals. Properties can be studied under two categories, physical properties and chemical properties. I hope you all are aware of both the terms physical and chemical properties as you have learnt it in your previous classes. Let's recall it. What do you mean by physical properties? Physical properties means it tells us about the physical state of materials. It includes its appearance, texture, melting or boiling points, etc. Physical state means what we able to see or feel. Whereas the chemical properties tells us about the chemical nature of substance, means how the substance will react with each other. We will learn about it more in the chapter. Let's first discuss the physical properties of metals and non-metals. Here are the physical properties that we are going to deal in the chapter one by one. The first property which we will learn is malleability. Students, have you ever seen a blacksmith beating an iron piece or an article made up of iron like a spade, a shovel or an axe? I hope many of you have seen a blacksmith working with a iron piece. He used to beat the piece again and again, continuous heating he used to give. Do you find a change in the shape of these articles on beating? Yes, we find the change in shape on beating. So, now let me know, would you expect a similar change if we try to beat the wood log? Wood log means a piece of wood. Okay, so the answer will be obviously no. If we will heat wood piece, it will just break into different pieces, but it will not change its shape. To get it more clear, let's go through the activity 4.1. What you have to do is to take some materials like iron nail, coal piece, aluminium wire and pencil lead. Then with the help of hammer you have to hit them hard, these materials, and you find that iron nail and aluminium wire changes its shape and gets flattened, whereas the coal piece and pencil lead, it does not change its shape on heating and it breaks into pieces. So students, I think you all are aware of the fact that silver foil is used for decorating sweets and aluminium foil is used for wrapping food. It means metals can be changed into thin sheets by beating, and this property of beating is known as malleability. So how you will define it? Malleability is the property in which materials can be beaten into thin sheet. So we can say that metals are malleable in nature, whereas non-metals are non-malleable in nature as they get crushed into pieces on beating. Now let's learn about next physical property. Firstly, students, answer my question. Can you hold a hot metallic pan which is without a plastic or wooden handle? The answer will be obviously no, as you may get hurt. So to protect us from getting hurt, the pans have either wooden or plastic handle, whereas the base of the pan is metallic, which conducts the heat and helps to cook the food. You can take another examples also, like electric iron. The other parts are made up of non-metallic material, whereas the base part, which has to supply the heat to iron the clothes, it used to be made up of metallic. The electric cooker, water heater, etc., the parts which conduct heat in these materials or in these objects are metallic. So we can conclude that the another property, that is, metals are good conductors of heat, whereas non-metals are poor conductors of heat. Similarly, the third property is metals are good conductors of electricity, whereas the non-metals are poor conductors of electricity. You already know this property. You have learnt in your previous classes. You all observed electric wires, which has a covering of plastic as an insulator. By activity 4.2, it will be more clear. Students, you have to take some materials like iron rod, sulfur, coal piece, copper wire, etc. Then make an electric circuit and place these materials one by one and observe whether the circuit is getting complete or not and the bulb is getting glow or not. You will find that iron rod and copper wire are good conductors, while sulfur and coal piece are poor conductors of electricity. And so here is the third property is proved, that metal conducts electricity, whereas the non-metals are poor conductors of electricity. Now let's know about the next property, students. I am sure you all have seen the wires of aluminium, copper, etc. But have you ever heard of the wires of coal or sulfur? Never, I think. Okay, isn't it? So this property is known as ductility. It will be defined as the property by which materials can be drawn into wires is known as ductility. Like in malleability, on heating we convert the metals into sheets. In the same manner, here on heating or applying the pressure or force, we convert the metallic pieces into wires. So if that material will be converted into wires, we will say that this is metal, and if it is not, then we will say that it is a non-metal. So metals are ductile, whereas the non-metals are non-ductile. Next, to learn another property, you just first tell me, have you ever noticed the sound which comes when we drop metal coins or the coal pieces? I hope you have not paid attention to the sounds, but now whenever you will get it fall down the coal pieces, coins experience all of you are having now. So is there any difference? Tell me, is there any difference in the sound produced by both of them? Yes, surely there will be a difference. The metal objects produces ringing sound, whereas the other objects which are non-metal, they doesn't produce that kind of sound, and this property of producing sound, ringing sound, is known as sonorous. So have you ever heard of the wooden bells in temples? No, because they don't produce sound. So how you are going to define sonorous? Sonorous is the property in which the materials are going to produce the ringing sounds. Let's compile whatever properties we have learnt in right up till here. Okay, so materials which shows the property of hardness, lustrous, malleable, ductile, sonorous and good conductors of heat and electricity can be considered as metals. For example, the iron, copper, aluminium, calcium, magnesium are different examples of metals. Whereas the materials which shows the property means they are soft in nature, dull in appearance, they breaks down into powdery masses on tapping with the hammer, or they are non-sonorous and poor conductors of heat and electricity, such materials are considered as non-metals. The examples of non-metals are sulfur, carbon, oxygen, phosphorus, and many more are there. Now students, we can't only classify it under these two, metals and non-metals. There are some exceptionals also. In every field always we can't be 100% sure, no? Some exceptionals. If we are saying that metals are soft or hard in nature, but there are some exceptionals, like metals like sodium and potassium are so soft that they can be easily cut with the knife. We also said that metals are solid. Mostly they are solid in nature. But one metal is there that is an exceptional, mercury, which is liquid at room temperature. So here I hope you all are clear with the physical properties of materials and how to categorize the metals and non-metals into different category on the basis of their physical properties. Thank you.